Hello and welcome, Janet Beckers here, and I'm celebrating because this is episode number 52 of Wonderful Web TV. Every week I've been releasing a new episode to you every Monday morning, and this is our 1 year anniversary. So, cheers. So I thought to celebrate this wonderful, very exciting milestone is I would answer some of the questions that I've been getting from people who've been watching Wonderful Web TV and wondering if this is something that could also work in your business for your marketing. So let me tell you some of the questions that have been coming through, and I really want you to think about how this could relate to your business. Is this something that you could be using as well? So one of the first questions I get was, why did I start running a Wonderful Web TV program in the first place? And the reason for that is I listened to what my customers were telling me, and I was watching changing in trends. Because I was releasing, if you've been on my list for a while, you would know that for years I released a weekly newsletter, and it worked really, really well for my business. It was a great way of really keeping, in the minds of my customers and continue to give value, and it was a really great way of interacting. But I started to notice that it was changing the way that people were interacting with the newsletter, and it wasn't just mine. It was also, I was also talking to colleagues of mine who also ran newsletters saying, is this just me, or have you noticed changes as well? We all noticed around about the same time, and it really coincided with when Facebook took off and people were looking for different ways that they wanted to be able to communicate with people. So I started changing a few things in my newsletter, and I started including a video, a link to a video each week. And I found that the thing that people were really interacting with in my newsletter was the video. All of the other things that took a hell of a lot of work, I'll let you know, people were starting to use less of. They didn't want things in such a long format. They just wanted short and sweet, as they were getting used to through Facebook. So I figured, well, if that's what people are interacting with, I'm going to keep it simple. I'm just going to do that. And anything else that I need to, I'll send in other emails or other formats. So that's why I started Wonderful Web TV. I also noticed from looking at what people were doing that the shorter the video, the more likely that people were to watch it and more likely to comment. So this actually evolved from me analysing what was working in my business, what had worked for years, what was starting to change, and being willing to adapt to the market. So for all I know, in another few years, I may adapt again. So that's number one. That's why we started this. So the question for you is, have a look at what you're doing in your marketing for your business. Just because you're doing something that used to work, is it still working in your business? Take the emotion out of it and look at actually the numbers, what is happening. So that's where it started. Now, another question I get a lot is, how does this work as a marketing thing for you, Janet? Is it a list builder? Do you make sales through the videos? How does it work? A really important part of this strategy is this is very, very much about keeping in the minds of my existing customers and subscribers. So it's very, very much my way of continuing to build that relationship, of continuing to build trust, so that if you're seeing me every week, you get to know who I am, you get to know what value I get, you know my thoughts, my tips. And so that's really how it works. And I have lost track of how many times people have emailed me or talked to me and said, I've been getting your videos every week, and I don't always comment, but I've been watching them every week, and I know that I have to work with you. I've known that you're the person that that understands how I think. So it really does help to build up that trust in the relationship, which means that when people are ready to invest with you, they know that you're the right person. It also is a nice medium that people will share, so it can act as a list builder. It is not a place to make sales. I think if I started trying to make pictures and sales from every single video, people would stop opening them, people would stop leaving comments. So for me, the important thing is about building trust, a relationship, and encouraging people to interact. It's very, very important to me that I try to get people to interact through comments, and you'll notice that's why I always take the time to leave a lot of comments. If people take that time to comment with me, I join the conversation. So that's how it fits in with my marketing mix, and it has worked really, really well. The other question I get a lot from people is, you've been doing this for a year now. That's amazing persistence, which yes it is. But, how do how haven't you missed a week? Surely you must get busy. Does it take a lot of your time to do this? My answer to that is no. Actually, I've got it so systemized. When I looked back at what I've contributed in terms of my time to producing this every week, for 12 months worth of marketing, I estimate that I have spent the equivalent of 5 full days over the whole year. 5 full days that it has taken me to create the videos, to make them so that they are ready to be able to be uploaded, and to get them out there and spread them out through all the different ways that we do that, to put it on our blog, send it out to our newsletter, because it is all systemized very, very easily. And so it's actually not a hugely time-consuming thing to do. So can you spend 5 days out of your year to be able to create a marketing piece that keeps you building trust and a relationship with your existing subscribers, to get known to new people, and to really start establishing yourself as a thought leader in your industry? So 5 days out of a year, is that something that you can imagine you could actually be doing in your business? So I really want you to think about, when you're watching what I'm doing and when you're watching what other people in business are doing, think about, how does that actually work? Could I do that in my business? What are some parts that I could do? So I would love to hear from you. Could you see something like this working for your business as well? I should add that in that year that we've been doing this, over on iTunes, because this is syndicated to iTunes, we have been in the top 20, usually the top 1 to 2, usually at least in the top 5 of what's hot in iTunes for our category, which is marketing and in business. So we have consistently for the whole year been ranked out of the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, probably thousands of video podcasts. We have always been on that front page for what's hot. So, it's actually working. What we're doing it's not just wasting time, it's really, really working and getting out there. So it's a system that works. So can you imagine doing something like this for your business? I'd really love to hear from you. I know this is a longer video than I normally do, but I really do hope that it's given you a few ideas of how you could be doing something like this in your business to get your message out. So please, I love it when you leave comments down below. It really does, really makes me feel as if what I'm doing is actually connecting with you. So if you can leave comments, I'd really appreciate that. And I'd love to hear from you. Can you imagine using something like this for your business? What parts of it? Any questions you've got, just leave them down below. Now, having said that, I must let you know that as this goes to air, I'm packing my bags, and tomorrow I am on a plane to Fiji, and I'm going scuba diving. I'm going to lay on a beach, and I'm just going to really, really enjoy on a small island. It's a honeymoon island with my man. So first time ever since we've had children that we've gone away for such a long time on our own. So I won't be leaving as many comments as I do normally down here. So please have the dialogue between yourselves as well. You can be commenting with each other and helping each other. I'd love to be able to see that. And whenever I can get onto the internet, which won't be very much in the next week, I'll come and leave comments for you as well and take part in the conversation. Bye.